Don't ever let somebody tell you can't do something. You got a dream, you gotta protect it. You want something, go get it. Period.
What's up, guys? Jay Bandy here with the For the Love podcast, episode 23. And today I'm with a young woman who is also an entrepreneur, as well as a social media, I would say fitness model slash enthusiast, bodybuilder, whatever you want to call it. Sydona, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Doing well. Glad to have you on.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people that look up to you. Obviously, you have a lot of followers on social media. That has grown quite well for you. So I wanted to get you on because I love to get different perspectives of different people, especially from a female's perspective. It's very interesting for me, at least, to always understand the opposite. So that's something hopefully we can get into today. And let's get a little bit of a background of you. How old are you?
20 years old now. My birthday is in August and I'll be 21.
Oh, the big 21. Excited
Yeah.
for that one, huh?
Yeah, it's so funny though, because like I don't drink, but dispensaries, you have to be 21. So like that's my thing. So
Okay.
yeah, but no, I'm excited.
You have anything big planned for that or no?
No, I was supposed to go out we have a boat. Our family has a boat. And out of all the years we had a boat, we've never had any issues. But the past 2 weeks ago, we hit a rock. And so now the boat is getting repaired. So fingers crossed that we can go on it. Otherwise, I have no idea, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you grow up in this area?
Yeah, so I've always been in Connecticut, but I was in Berlin and then Durham, and then now I'm in like the New Haven area, just for college.
Okay.
Yeah, so I moved around.
And where'd you go to high school?
I actually went to Mercy, which was like a Catholic high school, but I'm not religious at all. I just didn't want to be around the people in my town. But then I found out that the people not in my town were like, it was even harder to get along with. So I ended up being homeschooled through Coggins, which was like my hometown school,
Okay.
for like my junior, senior year. Yeah.
That's interesting. So what was your experience with that? Did you like that more than being in more of a public setting?
Yeah, it's just something that I needed at the time. Like, I feel like I was born an extrovert, and then eventually I like through experiences with like bullying and all of that, I definitely turned into an introvert. So yeah, no, and I got really close with my parents at home, and I'm definitely glad that I did it. I feel like I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't have that time like being alone and learning on my own.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's funny that you say how basically your personality changed from external factors such as bullying and things of that nature. And I don't think people really understand, or they just don't think about it as much in life, how much that it can affect people.
Yeah.
And like you said, you basically, from what I gathered, is that when you were younger, you were more of like you said, an extrovert. You were happy, you were social, whatever it was, and then this negativity came along and kind of broke that down.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, the whole thing is I feel like it's like a cycle where everyone is born like this innocent, happy person, but then whatever happens to you in your life kind of just completely changes you into who you are as an adult, you know?
Absolutely. I actually kind of said something similar a while back. Somebody got upset with me because I said we were all born pure, and in reality, everybody's broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's born innocent, and we basically go through life, and we go through these situations in life that break us a little bit, or hurt us a little bit, scar us, whatever it is. And that kind of, to me, means that every single person in this life is broken at some point in their life, and you have to just keep going through all that shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're 20, I'm 34 now, and for me, these past couple of years of my life were the most eye-opening. So I think that the earlier you can do things that help you understand yourself better
Yeah.
is very beneficial to your life and succeeding in the future. So uh,
Yeah.
I kind of seen you do that over the past several years. And for people that don't know, I mean, we only know each other from the gym. And Sedona is actually one of the first people that gave me an opportunity to work with my product, my V-Rush vapes. And that's kind of how we know each other. And she's helped us out a lot with that, and we're very grateful for that. Thank you as well.
Yeah, of course. It's a good product.
But I have seen that you have grown with your confidence over the past several years.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I used to think I was like dumb and like I mean, when people say something about you for so long, of course you absorb it. So I was just surrounded by like negative people. And of course, I'm not going to listen to my parents. My parents are the only ones that are like, oh, you're beautiful. But I'm like, okay, well, I'm your daughter. So,
Right.
but yeah, no, I think surrounding yourself with really amazing people that make you feel good is just so key because now instead of hearing like you're stupid or like other words, it's
Mhm.
more of like you're so smart, like you're a great entrepreneur, like you're a great coach, and then just having a purpose of like being able to transform people, their bodies and their lives. It's definitely helped a lot with confidence and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you have, a good heart and you're able to help people by doing things that you care about and actually love to do, it's almost that's motivational.
Yeah.
That like when I do things like this is what I love to do. I love to just connect with human beings and talk to them and get to know them and really learn. I learn so much from people. So for me, that gives me like more motivation to want more of that,
Yeah.
you know. So that's pretty cool. But so you basically gathered a lot of confidence from fitness. I'm getting. When did
Yes.
that begin in your life?
So actually when I was homeschooled is when I started like weightlifting. I had always like run. I used to love running. My dad would run all the time, so I kind of just did that with him. But my diet was horrible. I would literally go to lunch and eat like potato chips and fries for my
Mhm.
lunch. It was pretty bad. So when I was homeschooled, I had a lot of time on my hands. So like throughout the day I would kind of just like I just got my first laptop, so I would just do a bunch of research about how to work out, like nutrition, macros, and I kind of just taught myself for about a year. And like we had like a home gym set up,
Mhm.
and then eventually like went to Planet Fitness. But yeah, no, and I remember through my research I found bodybuilding, and I was so obsessed with like the bikini competitors because this was when social media like first came out. So I didn't even know that bodybuilding was a thing until Instagram appeared, and that was like one of the first things I found. So the bodybuilding definitely ignited like a fire in me to want to lift, because I didn't even know that bodybuilding was a thing. I thought it was always like running on the treadmill, or taking a walk outside just to be skinny and always dieting. But I never really knew that females could shape their body. And for someone like me who looked like SpongeBob, I was like, wow, this is amazing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get into that. That becomes more of a routine in your life.
Yeah.
Have
Um,
there ever been times where you've given up on it?
no, no, when I competed, I did a show when I was 16 and then 17. I decided to go to nationals, which is just stupid. I mean, I was not ready. It wasn't even that I wasn't ready. It was just I picked a coach that I liked as a person
Mhm.
rather than picking a coach that knows what they're doing.
Mhm.
So I wasn't ready, but that was kind of like I didn't even go. It was a 2-day show, and I didn't even go to finals the next day because I was like, yeah, this is not for me. Like, um, I think I was just on the high for my first competition. But yeah, no, and then losing weight. I'm sure if you ever dieted, the second time or third time around is always a lot harder to lose weight.
Mhm.
Um, so that was the only kind of like falling out I had with fitness. But other than that, like I've been lifting pretty much for the past like 5 years
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah, that's good that you can stay consistent with it because I think that I see a lot of people that they get into it, they're so gun ho with it, and then they just fall off and they
Yeah.
give up, and then they start back up, and it's a constant routine like that. I don't think people understand that that's also unhealthy for the body as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and I think just you have the ability to just go to the gym and use that as something to build your discipline,
mhm,
because I mean, everyone I know that goes to the gym regularly has crazy mental hardness and just like discipline like crazy. So, yeah, I definitely use the gym as something to make sure that I'm staying disciplined and I'm staying on top of myself.
yeah, I think that's great advice because for me, I use a gym when I'm there. I don't really talk that much when I'm there. I have my headphones on. I'm usually listening
Yeah.
to whatever I
No,
want to
me too.
listen to,
Yeah.
and if people talk to me, then I'll talk. I'm not a bad guy or nothing, but
Yeah.
it's I'm usually in the zone, and that's my time to like just unwind. It's there's very few things in my life that turns everything else off.
Hmm.
If you get what I'm saying, you know what I
I
mean.
agree.
So
Yeah.
that's one of them. This is one of them, and music is one of them.
Hmm.
So being able to combine music at the gym, I don't know how people work out without headphones. You see those
Oh my
people?
God. I
It
have no
freaks me
idea.
out.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to listen to something.
Yeah,
Like I like literally like if I can't do my set until a beat drops type of thing. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It just goes. It all coincides together, and with the blood flow and everything, it's just the energy of it. I see these people; they're just like moping around with no headphones on. I'm like, what the hell are you? I don't understand
I
it at
know.
all. Odd to me. Um, but yeah, so you have done diets for people and you coach people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing that since I was like 17. Yeah.
Mhm. How do you like doing
I love
that?
oh, I it's hard because so right now I'm working on coming out with like an app where I have everything is gonna be in that app so that I just write a workout real quick and then there's the videos, there's
Mhm.
a description of it. So it's a lot of work on the back end, but that's gonna be really great when it comes out. Just because doing stuff online, it's very hard to teach people form and to make sure that they're like staying accountable. Because I used to work at a gym my senior year of high school, and that was my favorite thing, like just being able to be hands on and talk to clients just about their life. And like I had one client who had kids that would piss her off, so I try and like talk her through it, stuff like that. So eventually I would love to have like a studio where I could train people in person.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I still love it. I'm still able to help people. It's just not to the degree that I want it to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's definitely hard when you're not actually there with them. Obviously, like you said, one on one is definitely better. And it's even I was talking to somebody about this when doing podcasting. I'm like, I love doing video podcasting. Don't get me wrong, it's great because it gives me a lot of diversity. But being in person with them is there's nothing like it. The energy of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've had people in front of me that were, break down crying and stuff, and or just like laughing our asses off. Like the energy of it in person is just no is just there's nothing like that. So that
See, but like I'm such an emotional person that I would be the person to cry. Yeah, no. Maybe one day we'll do it
maybe
in person.
maybe yeah, the in person
Yeah.
ones are definitely good though. Definitely a good feel. Um, but yeah, I can see your point there with the online stuff. And then I feel like you get a lot of people that give up quick.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that has to do with, like I said, like not only not being in person, but just not being able to provide them with like really great videos to walk them through form on every single exercise.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, that's going to change soon, but it's just right now.
Hmm.
It's just a bummer. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Apps are definitely a big thing. That would be definitely a game changer for business. Obviously,
Yeah.
you just started this other business with the hats.
Yeah.
What's the name of that?
Let's hold nothing back.
Hold nothing back. That's correct. Okay, so I was looking at those. Pretty cool. I like how you left it very clean. I'm a very everything I do is very like I feel crisp and clean. I like things that are
Yeah.
more plain.
Oh yeah,
and
me too.
and I like that only because I feel it's just like I said, it's more crisp and more like it just flows nicer. So I looked at those, very cool. How long you been doing that?
Um, I think about a month I've been selling them.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a learning curve. That
Oh God,
was
yeah.
hard for me at first, but it's a great skill now to have. But yeah, selling physical products is a little difficult when you're
Hmm.
learning for sure.
Oh, believe me, I actually, V-Rush wasn't my first endeavor. So when people say don't give up on things, or don't get discouraged, or you're gonna fail at things, this, that, the other, it does happen. Or you really have to put a lot of hard work into it. And what I realized was, if you're not in a good mental state, or you're there's a lot of negativity around you, or like you said, you don't have the right people around you, a lot of things in your life can go in disarray. So if you want a successful business and stuff, you have to really surround yourself with people that know business, or are willing to help and connect you with those things. And because I had a clothing line when my first business was a clothing line called Original Mix. It was based around dance music and just music in general. You know how like they have the say they do a remix to a song, and then they put remix in parentheses next to it.
Yeah.
So if it's the original mix, they'll do say original mix in parentheses. That was the logo of the brand. It was a pretty cool brand, and we
Oh,
had
cool.
people like Avicii wearing like a hat and stuff like that. And
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, we actually, because what we would do is we would go to like different shows and stuff, and just bring apparel and try to get to them.
Yeah.
And that was like our marketing way of marketing. But I had to learn all these things, and
Yeah.
I had to give up on certain things. I had to move on to new things. And but what I realized the most is that you have to keep a goal, and every single day you have to work towards that somehow, some way. It doesn't matter if it's a little amount. You have to do something every day to build that brand.
Yeah.
Um, as for product is like, marketing for product is hard as hell right now because everything's so saturated. You
Oh
have
my gosh, yeah.
you have every single person that is on social media trying to sell something.
Yeah.
So
No, that's why I did hats because I wanted to put out some type of apparel. Um, but like you can't do leggings, you can't do resistance bands, you can't do crop tops. So I was like, all right, what's left? Basically like gym bags and hats.
mhm,
Um, so yeah, no, I completely agree. It definitely is hard. That's why like what's her Grace Beverly, she, I don't know if you heard of her, but she has the brand Tala, and she made it like so big because she just did something different where I think it's like all sustainable and like recycled stuff that she made these amazing clothes out of, where I'm
mhm,
like, damn it, why didn't I think of that? But yeah, no, it's hard to find some type of niche because
yeah,
it's like everything's already,
saturated.
taken. Yeah.
That's what I said to myself, because listen. I always had ideas in my head, and I think the biggest thing is actually implementing those ideas and figuring out how to actually do it.
Hmm.
That's the hardest part of being an
Yeah.
entrepreneur or being a successful one, because there's so many steps. It's like, okay, you have an idea. Now you have to take that idea and figure out how to make it real. And now that you have it real, you have to figure out how to get it in front of people's faces and then make them like it on top of that.
Yeah.
That's basically what selling a product is.
Yeah.
Um, and when I came up with VRush, I was like, I had the idea for quite a while, and I was like, but I didn't know how to implement it.
Hmm.
And I think it was actually my sister. I don't even know if she knows this, but my sister and I only remember certain things in my life very vividly. It's weird.
Yeah.
But I remember I was on vacation in Michigan with my father, because my father lives out there. We're sitting on a deck, and I tell her this idea. And I don't know why, but for her, she's somebody in my life that I value her opinion a lot.
Hmm.
So when she told me, she was like, that's a really good idea. Like, whatever. I just had a feeling. And I'm like, I have to do this. I have to. And when I get a feeling like that, and it won't go away, I have to do it. I have
Yeah.
So that's just how it works for me. But I always said, I can't do something that somebody else already did.
Hmm.
That was a big thing to me because I always said if I really want to be like huge successful, um, and really have freedom, I need to do something that somebody never did before.
Yeah.
And so I would come up with ideas, and then I would go and I would go on Google and I would look, and I'd be like, "Fuck, somebody already did it. Damn it!"
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
That's
"All right,
exactly.
on to the next." But
Hmm.
with this, I remember I'm Googling, and I'm like pre-workout vape, and I'm like nothing. I'm like, and then I started doing more and more and more, and I'm like, and I only seen like little companies coming out with like one ingredient, one, you know what I mean? That's it,
Yeah.
and I'm like, bingo, this is it.
Yeah.
So, and I think people need to understand, like, as an entrepreneur, when you have that feeling, I live life on a feeling. It's weird, but a lot of times I can really feel if something is going to be right. That probably took a lot of wrong experiences,
Yeah.
but that's how I live my life, and I ran on that feeling, and it's been pretty good so far. So, um, we'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I think.
this has been a mess though. The COVID, has it been a mess for your situation?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm running out of home workouts to write for clients and stuff. I have no idea. Like, how are you supposed to progressively overload if they only have like a resistance band?
Yeah.
It's a mess. And then let alone trying to be sane without the gym on my part, And then yeah, it's just been weird. I mean,
Well,
I am so lucky that no one in my family has been affected, none of my friends. I'm not. I work from home anyways, so
mhm.
I'm not complaining. But yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. Like it feels like we're in a movie. That's what it
Yeah,
feels.
it's wild. It's starting to get. In the beginning, it was like, okay, whatever. We'll see what happens. It was a little hectic. Now it's like one thing after another, draining every amount of energy and emotion out of you. People fighting everywhere. I just want to get back to normal. One more week. Next week, the gyms are opening, at least here in Connecticut. We'll see what happens. I think Powerhouse is going to be good from what I heard,
Yeah.
because based on how big they are, they only get about 300 to 400 people coming through there on a daily basis for the whole day, which means at the most there's maybe, I would say there's no more than 60 people in there at a clip, maybe
Yeah, I
70
mean,
at
when
the most.
I go, there's maybe like 15.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be any specific guidelines that are going to be crazy in that place. So hopefully things will be back to normal.
Yeah.
Because this is the problem. Like I wanted to go out to eat. I'm calling a restaurant a week in advance. They're already booked up.
Oh wow.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. And I already had an idea that maybe it would be like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
and that's the biggest problem is I'm like, all right, I want to go out now and enjoy myself, but I don't want it to be a hassle, you
I
know?
know. I completely agree. Even
I'm
just
not.
like wearing the face mask is just such a pain. Like it makes me not want to leave my house.
Yeah, I saw something the other day where some young girl or something like that, because she was wearing a mask so much, she ended up getting sick. I don't remember if she died or she got some crazy disease or sickness or whatever, because the mask is on. It's not good to wear a mask all day long.
Yeah.
They're giving us all this bullshit information, but you're breathing in your like carbon dioxide from your own mouth and shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
So
know. And that's why they say like don't wear it in the car anymore
no,
because you
stupid.
like pass out.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I
yeah,
see people with it all the time.
yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't even know what's going on. I'm so confused right now with everything. But
I like after the riots started and everything happened, like with that, I forgot about the virus to be honest. Like I
I
ever
think everybody did. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. I went to go into the grocery store and I'm so used to wearing my mask, but then after all of that happened, I was like, wait, I have to wear a mask still? The virus is still a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. But I think we're not gonna go completely back to normal. I think
No.
everything's gonna be a little bit better. Hopefully.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I'll tell you. Obviously, my job's crazy right now,
Yeah.
and we're just laying low because you don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really don't, and you don't want to. step on the wrong toes, really, in reality. And I'm not the type of person where, I try to do everything the right way and treat people the right way. That's how I live
Yeah.
my life, because all around. So I think if you do that and you treat people good, then hopefully good things will happen to you. That's my motto of life.
Yeah.
But there's some crazy shit going on right now. So kind of got to just watch your back on every
Yeah.
aspect.
I can imagine it's scary, but
It's wild. It's wild
yeah.
for sure. All right. So I wanted to go over this article with you. It's pretty cool. So it's called Examples of Toxic Fitness Culture. And it's by, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's spelled Ilya. That's kind of a cool first name. I don't know how to say that.
Me neither.
Isla, maybe Isla Parker from decolonizingfitness.com, if anybody wants to go there and look this up. Now, reason why I want to talk about this is because people think that fitness is like this positive, great thing. They see these people that look good, this and that and whatever. I don't think anybody has any idea what it really is. And I
Yeah.
think that's why so many people try to get into it and they fail and they give up, or they can't really do what they need to do to succeed in it, because they don't understand that there's a lot of hard work involved in it. Like you said, a lot of discipline, a lot of mental stability that you need. It's not just fun and games, and a lot of it's not even just it's not fun. Some of it, that's where the
Yeah.
discipline comes in.
Yeah.
So when I say examples of toxic fitness culture, there's a lot of misconceptions of what people think. So let's see what this article says. First one says the promotion of fitness for the sole purpose of weight loss. So I guess they're saying, you're only getting into fitness because you want to lose weight. I guess I would probably basically say that's probably true. A lot of people do that and they don't understand all the other aspects that are necessary for it.
Yeah. I interpret that as, or I can just, what it reminds me of is just how people promote just being so thin and they don't talk about how you need to build muscle.
Mm.
Actually, I should just say something that really bothers me is how people think that if they just do cardio that they're just going to get this model body. But even models have to do a little bit of weight training, because if you lose all this fat, how are you supposed to look toned if you don't have any muscle underneath?
Mm.
So in reality, they should be promoting weight training with every single weight loss program,
Mm.
because they're never going to get to that toned physique that they want. And then also, it shouldn't just be about being so skinny. And I think we've come a long way with that. But I think there is so much advertising still about having like a flat tummy, like with the flat tummy teas, and like taking like Garcinia, which doesn't even work. And, there's so many misconceptions, and people just are so obsessed with being so skinny.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have come a long way, but still, yeah.
Yeah, I think curves are accepted widely now. I
Yeah.
think everybody loves curves, so that's everywhere. But I think the biggest problem is obviously the fakeness. I can't
Yeah.
stand the fakeness. You know, a lot of girls with fake butts now, and you can, when you see the fake butts and they have no muscles in the legs, it looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um,
To each his own, but yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah.
um, okay, the next one is the belief that fit has a look. What do you
Okay.
think?
Yeah, I think with that, it just, I think there's like different types of fitness. Like there's bodybuilding type body, there's CrossFit type body, there's a runner type body,
Hmm.
and I think a lot of like fitness models are just one type, and
Yeah,
especially like people who do CrossFit don't get represented that much, especially CrossFit, I would think, you
yeah,
know.
body wise. I would say another aspect to that could be, when you people go into this stuff, or they're into fitness, they have to understand their own bodies. So like, I'll give you an example. I have a friend who like will come to me and be like, I want to look like this guy,
Oh yeah.
but you're not structured to look like that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they don't understand that. So when they come into it and they have this belief that being fit for them is going to be looking like this guy,
Yeah.
when in reality that might not be obtainable for you.
Oh yeah. I I think the only way that we could fix that is like not photoshopping people's bodies, first of all, especially like female models with the cellulite, with making their waist smaller. And even with guys, like it's always the small waist, big rounded shoulders. And so I don't know. I just think like diversity, there needs to be more diversity with body types and everything, um, and promote people who don't have that small waist and that hourglass figure for sure.
And
Because
be
that's
comfortable.
like a very small percentage. And then that leads to people photoshopping their pictures online. And it's just this whole crazy thing, this whole cycle.
Yeah, and you don't know what's real anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, here's one that you might want to touch on. I don't really, we'll see what it means. Personal trainers unwilling or unable to modify exercises to support unique bodies.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that have issues with that have come to me and said, "Hey, can you help me with this because my last trainer wasn't able to?" And that could be either with injuries or like if it's a male or female, which I should say, male and female workouts are very similar.
Yeah.
A female can train like a male if she wants, but I'm just saying people have certain preferences. But yeah, I think it's because people assume that if they know how to train their own body, then they're going to be able to train someone else. And they don't know how to train someone with an injury, or if they have specific body goals or athletic goals. So I think it's just a lack of knowledge and people ready to jump into taking clients when they only know how to train their own body, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. This next one, I don't necessarily agree with this one, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But it says personal trainers who aren't registered dietitians giving diet advice. Now, obviously, we have that all over the place. There's a lot of people, especially with social media, that are giving out diets, this, that, and the other. Now, the reason why I don't really agree with this per se is because I think we're in a generation now where I don't think you need to go and you need to pay to take a class to be educated on things and understand how things work, and just to have a piece of paper that says that. Now, is it good to have? Is it better, beneficial to your education? Yes, probably. Will some people maybe want to go to you more because of that, business wise? Probably. But per se, I don't think that I think there's a lot of people out there that don't have these certificates or degrees, and they're unbelievably knowledgeable on these things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think like my NASM certification, um, it was very general, like with the stuff that it taught you, and I don't really think I use much of it now with my clients. And I think that's the same thing if you were to be a registered dietitian. I think there's a lot of things that you can just learn online and you can be more specific with your own research online rather than, getting to be a registered dietitian where you have just a little bit of knowledge in all these little areas.
Mhm.
So, and another thing is I know, like you said, a lot of bodybuilding coaches that have amazing results with their clients and their clients are healthy. I just think it's important for people to be like, hey, I'm not a registered dietitian, but here are my results with other people. And,
Mhm.
just having that disclaimer, and then people can decide if they want to be with that person or not.
Yeah, that makes better sense.
Yeah,
I think if you just put all your information out there and you be transparent with people, what do they have to lose? It's up to them to make the
exactly.
decision.
Yeah.
But obviously, we're in a society where we've been structured to believe that these degrees and these things are the best things in the world.
Yeah.
When I tell people all the time, I'm like, you have literally everything you ever want to know at your fingertips in your phone.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, I like I got a buddy who breaks my balls at work because if I don't have anything to do really, I'm researching, I'm doing something to educate myself or further a goal of mine.
Yep.
Where he's watching a Netflix show or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he gives me props, but he's like, he always breaks my balls, and I'm like, that's why you're here and I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but that's just how it works.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. All right, this is actually a good one because I think people need to understand that rest sometimes is a good thing because, especially with this situation right now, the belief that beating your body up makes for a good workout.
Um, well, I will say now that
Time and
it's a
place, I would
different
say.
practice. What?
Time and place, I would say.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no, and I think like I used to train 7 days a week because this is back, I had like disordered eating patterns and all of that. So everything to me was like I hit my macros exactly, I drink exactly a gallon, I go to bed exactly the same time, and I took it to the extreme. And I think a lot of people when they first get into fitness do that.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I didn't feel good. I wasn't getting a pump in the gym anymore. And it wasn't until I stopped training 7 days a week and I switched to 5 where I feel so much better. And I think it just takes, you just have to go and relax. Because
Hmm.
if you don't just relax and see how good it feels, you're never going to want to do it. But it's so worth
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I mean, even now, like I tell people, I'm like, okay, even though we're in COVID and a lot of people are going nuts because they haven't been able to work out, I've probably been doing this through the COVID phase. I didn't have a lot of home stuff to do really.
Hmm.
Here, I ended up getting some dumbbells and a barbell and this and that and whatever, and so I could do some light squats and like things of that nature and some back stuff. But anyways, I was doing that maybe 2 days, 3 days a week, right?
Hmm.
And if I didn't feel like training, I didn't train. And if I had access to a gym, I would go and I would do something.
Yeah.
And then now that, gyms are going to be opening up and stuff, our gym at work is open. So now I'm doing workouts, heavier workouts, more um, bodybuilding type workouts at the gym at my work to get my body ready for
Hmm.
when we go back, you know?
Yeah.
So this is kind of interesting because it kind of goes into the next one, which says believing working out is more important than listening to what your body needs. So, I mean, for me, obviously, it took a long time for me to realize that. You're still young, so you're. I love when I see people your age like be knowledgeable. It's like it makes me look and say, "Oh God, there's a hope. There's still hope," you know.
Yeah.
Um, but for me, like I said, like listen, you're gonna beat your body up if you. That's why people are getting injured. Do you have injuries?
Not really. No. I've had little tweaks, but I've never had an injury. The closest thing was like a little pull to my hamstring, which
Yeah,
healed in like a week. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, for me, I mean, I have injuries, but they're not from that. They're from work, you know. But um, in reality, I see a lot of guys that they just keep training hard and heavy all the time as they get older, and everything.
Yeah.
And who knows what else they're doing to their body, and they're tearing muscles, they're tearing pecs, triceps, biceps, all these things. I've been lucky to say I haven't had anything like that happen. Um, and that was even being a guy who I don't really stretch that often. And now that I'm older, what I do is I stretch almost during my workout, in between sets, almost
Yeah.
all
That.
the whole workout. That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
But I used to never do that, and I think that taking care of your body is a necessity. People don't understand that because that's what will happen if you don't listen to it. Take some time off and understand that that's where the recovery comes in. You're gonna screw yourself up.
Oh, definitely. I was just listening to Joe Rogan just released a podcast with Ronnie Coleman, and he
Hmm.
was talking about how he's like 15 back surgery, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it, and this is something I've learned over the past year, is a lot of it is just like obsession. Because just recently have I been able to pull back when I need to, but before I was like, if I don't keep going hard, I'm gonna lose all my muscle. I'm gonna get fat. I'm gonna be a loser. Like it was like a mind game with me. It would give me so much anxiety. And like now I'm able to see like there's so many other things I like doing. Like I could just be an artist instead my body's really fucked up, and I have my whole entire life to lift. So why try and squeeze it in now and then get injured and then never lift again?
Right.
So I think that's really important. And just realizing that your whole life isn't lifting. Lifting is there to enhance it. And once it starts like fucking you up and making, oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to.
Oh yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, but once it starts like hurting you, like you need to relax and do something else and just do that on the side a lot lighter so that you're not killing yourself.
Right. It's funny you say that because it goes right into the next one, which is thinking diet and exercise is the only way to take care of ourselves. And just like you said, anxiety, it's crazy because I'll be one to say it. I've experienced anxiety. I think everybody has in this life, in this world, especially now. The world is so anxiety ridden, so uncertain. And for me, I've had a lot of soul searching over the past few years. I've learned to learn more about myself, about my brain, my mind, psychology, all these things. And when I was in my 20s, I was in the gym all the time. That's all I cared about. You know what I mean? Being in the gym, working, and being in the gym.
Yeah.
And then I hit a point where I said, okay, it's not giving me what it used to give me. I don't feel it's not giving me the same feeling because the gym used to take, like I said, shut everything off. But as you get older, things start to get more real. And that's when the gym wasn't doing the job of shutting everything off anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to figure out other ways or other things or more about myself. And that's where I think this question or this example comes full circle in reality is probably one of the biggest aspects in life is to understand yourself, learn about yourself, learn how your thought process could be extremely beneficial to everything. I don't know about you, but for me, I have to work every single day to basically not react off of emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most people in life do that. And what I mean by that is it could be anything from somebody pissing you off and you just telling them to go fuck themselves before thinking about
Yeah.
saying, I'm going to go say this. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think with this example, like, I don't know about you, but anxiety in a bodybuilding aspect is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Have you experienced any of that?
Oh yeah. I mean, I I think as I got older, my anxiety got so much worse, and like I couldn't even go to the gym anymore because a lot of it is like social anxiety. So, I mean, now I'm on medication, and I will say that if anyone is listening and they're nervous about trying medication, it's amazing. Like it has been the one thing that's helped me a lot. But yeah, no, it's horrible. And then I think the only thing that's really helped me besides the medication is just like being self-aware and understanding like, okay, why is this making me anxious, or why is this making me angry? And then once you understand like what's triggering those emotions, you can kind of like get a better handle on it. And I definitely, even just being nicer to people, being self-aware, and knowing, okay, I'm being mean to that person because I'm like jealous, or I'm just not confident in myself. So that has been a game changer, and I think everyone should really be self-aware, and instead of watching Netflix all day, just sit in silence and reflect on your day, and triggers that happen in your day and all of that.
Yeah, I think that a lot of what you said is true. I had to learn a lot about myself. I had to learn how a lot of the things that I've went through in my life molded me to become negative thinking. And when you could go your whole life trying to do the right thing and being a good person, and you could just come across a lot of bullshit. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's just what happens in life. And I think most people don't know how to handle it because we're not taught these things. We go to school from what, early in the morning till maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. That they're structuring us to live that 9-to-5 life. They're not teaching us about coping skills. They're not teaching us about life, about what happens when it gets hard, about handling finances and all these things. They don't
Oh my
teach
gosh.
you the stresses of life,
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
no, I'm all for that. I'm like, I will like I get help for my education, like to pay for it, but if I didn't, I don't think I'd be in college. Like
Oh my God.
I think it is very ridiculous and like all the time we waste learning about like tainted history and all of that and yeah, it's frustrating. Well,
Yeah.
Elon Musk, it doesn't he have like a school where the kid like finds whatever he's interested in and then they kind of just like go through that path and if
Really?
someone's interested in like being a scientist they only learn about science like
Mm.
I think once we get past grade school I think it should just be like we pick a trade and we just become experts
Mm.
and we would have amazing doctors, amazing scientists. Like I feel like we'd be so much further in this world.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's frustrating how education is and how we have to spend so much money going to college for what do they call them, like the liberal arts
Yeah.
classes,
Yeah.
like all that
Electives and all
bullshit in
those
the
things.
beginning. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Well, that's what I said. I was like, I feel that education obviously became big business because it's all about money. I mean,
yeah,
they're still like, oh, textbooks and stuff like, well, it's 2020
I
textbooks,
know, I don't
you know,
understand
like,
that.
so it's just a money grab. It's what it's become. And obviously now you can see everything becomes political with colleges too. So it all coincides together. It's obvious
Yeah,
what's going on. They're putting America in debt. Everybody's in debt because of it. Um, and that's interesting. I never heard that about Elon Musk because I always had that theory too. I was like, it doesn't make sense. Why not just teach somebody what everything about what they need to know? That's it,
yeah,
or what they want to know. Like it makes zero sense to me. So that's
yeah.
I gotta look into that because I never heard about that. That's interesting. But it's
Oh yeah, I
also
think he's great.
yeah, he's awesome. Like his mind is crazy. He's out there. Sometimes I
I
listen
know.
to him. Sometimes I look at him and I'm like, I don't know if this dude's like real. Like
Yeah,
you know what I
he
mean?
he could be an alien just trying to help us dumb earthlings out.
Oh
You
my
never
God, it's
know.
very possible at this point because
Yeah.
he's doing some crazy shit. But it's interesting because I even also had that theory that if I was to ever have a child, my I was really considering homeschooling,
Hmm.
and that's because I just see what the hell's going on out there. I see uh, how education has become nothing but a mind fuck. Really, they're not teaching you anything, and people don't know this, but I've said this before. The education system was ran by the Rockefellers. They basically were the most powerful people in the world. They were so rich at the time. The education system in America was failing. It was a mess. So they came in, they had all the money, and they were like, "Listen, we'll take it over, we'll run it, but my people are going to write the textbooks and everything." So what do you think they're doing? They're going to implement whatever they want you to know. I don't even know at this point if any of that shit's real.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
know. And it's like we only know the history that they want us to know. And how many years, how many classes do we spend on learning the history? And
Yeah,
it's
it's
frustrating.
it's it's wild. Um, but you're still in college. What are you studying in school?
Business management.
That's probably
Yeah.
a good thing. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I was in exercise science, but I remember it was like one of the first days and she was like, "Yeah, so you're going to be writing like a 40-page paper at the end of your career and you're going to do all these hours." And I was like, "Yeah, no. I'm just going to do something to get a degree." And I mean, of course, business management is going to help me. I have learned a few things.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, I did that instead.
yeah. Marketing. That's probably something I would go if I could go back to school. And I've considered it maybe when I retire or something when I have more free time on my hands. But like I said, I struggle with uh, the money aspect. I'm like, I don't want to throw my money away. I
Yeah.
could probably learn more sitting at home teaching myself.
I
But
know. Just Google, yeah.
I would probably go back for two things. It would be psychology and then marketing. Those two.
Yeah, I love
Uh,
psychology. I took a
yeah.
few electives and I did want to transfer, but this was like my sophomore year. I took my first one and it was just too much of a pain in the ass to transfer. So but yeah, no, but honestly, I mean, social media, if you have a product on social media, I don't even think you need to go to school for marketing. Like I have learned so much through Instagram, trial and error, like doing my business, my hats and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's taught me a lot.
Really just about work ethic, how much you put into it, you know.
Yeah.
So before we get out of here, tell me about the plans you have for the future, anything that you're hoping to get going, things you have in the works, and what you might see down the road that you want to do.
Um, I I think I told you this. I don't know if we were recording, but I absolutely love podcasts and eventually I would love to do a podcast of my own. Just
Hmm.
even if no one listens, I just love to talk to people and learn different perspectives.
Hmm.
But in the near future, definitely the app is going to be coming out. I just got an email for it and it should be ready a week from today. So hopefully that'll be there and, just finishing college and eventually going to have my own training studio. Would be, the ultimate goal.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
you're on the right path. You're so young. You can't even drink yet,
I know.
and you have all these goals. You've achieved a lot. I love seeing that. And just like you said with podcasting, do it. And if you need help, let me know. I'll help you out.
Yeah.
Because this is something that has brought a lot of joy to my life. And like I said, I love it. I love learning from people, their perspectives, talking to them, psychology.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But it was great talking to you. Let everybody know where they can find your hats, find you on Instagram if they haven't already found you, and anything that you have to promote.
Well, my Instagram is SYDONA_T. And then I have a link to everything in my bio. My hats are there,
Cool.
my discount codes, all of that. So
Awesome.
I think, yeah, and my email too. So literally everything's on my Instagram.
All right. Well, guys, if you want to check out Sydona, go to her Instagram. Everything's there. Check out her hats. She gives great advice in regards to fitness. If you want her as a coach, inquire. And she's also helped me out with my vapes. So she's helping everybody out. Thank you for coming on the show, episode 23. I
Thank
loved
you.
having you.
Yeah.
Maybe in the near future, we'll have you again.
Hell yeah.
All right. Take care.
Don't ever let somebody tell you can't do something. You got a dream. You gotta protect it. You want something, go get it. Period.